You're listening.
You're listening.
You're listening to Burn FM.
Hi everybody. This is Sound of Selly. Thank you all for tuning in. My name's Anna. This is actually my first show of this semester. So thank you for rejoining me here. I'm sorry it took so long to get everything back on board. It's technical difficulties with the studio and everything. But things seem to be worked out now, and I am joined here finally after lots of trouble getting here with Count Shaw. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Not bad.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
so it's been nice to kind of finally get Count Shaw on the show, because we have been planning this for nearly...
It's probably a year now.
Yeah,
I'd
literally.
say. Yeah.
Literally a year. But every time something has just happened that has just kind of thrown a spanner in the works.
A flood.
Yes, there was a flood, so it was even kind of biblical.
Yeah.
Felt like fate really wasn't on our side, but finally we're here.
We're here.
Gonna smash it.
Yes.
Here
definitely.
for Sound of Selly. So the first song that we've got for you today from Count Shaw is a song called The Dance. And this is one of the reasons why I have kept this going for this year, because this is genuinely one of my favourite songs of all time. It was my top listened song on Spotify last year.
I can't believe that. That's really cool.
I know, but I've got the picture proof. So
yes, you did show me just before.
Yeah, so very excited to finally bring this song to you guys.
Sure.
Thank you for tuning in. Let's go.
Let's listen.
Tu move to France of France, Dior, il dit bonjour, bon amour. He likes a brunette, she likes a good red, she likes a neck red, he likes a redneck, she likes a lower, he's up in her red, she's not gonna settle for a redhead. See him in a minute, say a million times a minute, bring a mini fridge of spinach and better way to send it to the herd. Many medical men, heavy metal, cynical, political friends, clinical trends, minimal men, trying to bend, I found a pen to write the grooves and when the right moves, a boosh and a good night, a few grooves, a grooves and a few grooves and never bloody move. Oh, I found you, and you keep your wits about you. Run around the room until you really fucking ask you. I'm not talking, I don't walk in, I don't like the way you're winking. I don't think you should be drinking, thinking till you sink it to the floor. You wait in line to waste your time for someone like you. Follow the light. I see the way you elevate for false romance.
Okay, that was The Dance by Count Shaw, my top listened to song last year.
Yeah.
So whenabouts did you come to writing this song? Because you were telling me you hadn't actually listened to it in a while.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't tend to listen to them once they've been released, like
Sort
that
of
much.
Let
anyway.
them out into the world. And
Yeah, it's because you listen to them so much when you're writing them and when you're like mixing them and stuff that by the time it's released, you're just like, that's it.
Yeah.
You go out. Yeah, this is someone else's thing now. But yeah, I think I wrote that one. Probably wrote it in 2019, and then I think I finished it in 2020.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
So,
it was more of a lockdown type thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of COVID project.
Yeah.
I feel
yeah,
like
for sure.
COVID brought out so many people's kind of creative
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
I don't know, were you writing and recording before as well?
A little bit.
Or is this one of your sort of first?
That was the first like
ventures?
big one.
Yeah.
There was there was one before that called Cheek,
Mm.
and that was the only one that I've done which I fully like mixed and mastered myself.
Yeah.
All the other ones like after that point were done by someone else, so they a bit more kind of like professional, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think I wrote a few. No, there was Fangs as well.
Fangs. I was going to
That one,
say,
yeah.
because I having gone through your Spotify, I
Yeah.
remember seeing Fangs on there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one was a strange one. It doesn't sound anything like my other stuff.
You're now more honed in a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the song that we have up next, People Everywhere by Karangbin, you were saying was sort of kind of real soundtrack to this
Yeah.
period whilst you were
Yeah.
writing The Dance.
Yeah, so kind of that was my final year kind of era. I was
Mm.
just listening to loads of like disco basically.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, I did a year abroad before that,
Yeah.
and yeah, for whatever reason, I just loved disco so much for the whole year, and that's like the only thing that I listened to. So it made sense
good.
that I have to write like a disco-y track.
Uplifting to be doing that and
Yeah.
listening to that when you're sort of in the real kind of trenches of
Yeah.
the uni experience
Yeah,
in that final year.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is People Everywhere Still Alive by Karangbin. Enjoy, guys. That was People Everywhere by Karangbin, one of the songs that provided the kind of musical background to the creation of The Dance.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, I haven't really listened to much Karangbin, maybe just White Gloves, but
Yeah.
after
definitely
hearing
their
that,
biggest
I'm
one.
definitely gonna
Yeah,
check them out
I
for?
really tend to focus towards their more disco sounding tracks.
Yeah.
But their slow ones are so nice as well.
Yeah.
Like really chill for like a summer evening.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next song that we have lined up is one of yours. This is The Way You Shaketh It,
Yeah.
which I really like. I like the kind of juxtaposition
Yeah.
there, the Shakespearean language
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think it's a
the
bit.
shaking of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think mainly because the artist that did the album art called Kel, very talented, just came up with this sort of goblin type medieval creature for the cover, and I was like, I'm just going to double down on the medieval thing
Yeah,
and just
go
add
into
an
yeah.
F to
An
the
F.
end. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think it really works. So this is The Way You Shaketh It. Enjoy, everyone.
And I've been thinking of the way you shake it, baby. And I've been thinking about the way you make me lately. And I've been thinking about the way you shake it, baby. And I've been thinking of the way you make me lately. And I've been thinking of the day I met you. And I've been thinking of my little monkey mind. And I've been thinking about how much I miss you. And it's a teeny weeny little bit too much. Sending my ideas all over. You on the way, I'm on the way. I used to watch. I'm dreaming of the day I see you again. And I'm dreaming of the way you love me.
Okay, that was The Way You Shaketh It.
Mhm.
And you were just telling me that was about a year after the
Yeah,
dance,
year
a year
after,
post-dance.
Yeah, pretty much exactly a year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, like, way more inspired by slower kind of neo-soul type stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a theme with, like, all of my songs, basically, so whatever I'm listening to at the time,
Yeah.
the song is probably going to sound
That's
something
kind
like
of what
that.
it
Yeah.
feeds into. So
Yeah.
we actually have an example of this lined up for you
Yeah.
next. We've got The Red Room by Hiatus Coyote.
Coyote?
Coyote?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this beforehand.
Yeah.
How am I going to say
Now, I haven't listened to this track before,
Ah.
so what kind of, is this still got that sort of neo-soul
Yeah,
feel
very much.
to it?
Yeah, and jazz influence
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
very good.
Wow. Please enjoy Red Room then, folks.
I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. It feels like I'm inside a flower. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. It feels like I'm inside a flower. It feels like I'm inside my eyelids, and I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. It feels like I'm inside a flower. It feels like I'm inside my eyelids, and I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I don't wanna be anywhere but here. Ooh, I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. It feels like I'm inside a flower. It feels like I'm inside my eyelids. I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, it is right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. I got a red room, I got a red room.
That was the neo-soul Red Room by Hiatus Coyote, I think is what we settled
Yeah,
on.
it sounds
Yeah. And it's that kind of soft feeling that I think you also have in The Way You Shaketh It.
Yeah.
Kind of,
It's really warm, isn't it? The
Yeah.
sound of that song.
yeah, I feel like you would sort of have that,
Yeah.
and you know, in a classy bar or something going
Yeah.
on, and people are sort
And
of
like fall asleep.
vibing. No, I don't know who's falling asleep in a bar, but you know,
Yeah.
I think that's more on them.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool song. Like the
Mm.
bass line is just
Yeah.
so nice, and her vocals are just insane.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you were saying something about the kind of guitar chords as well being inspired by
yeah.
some other neo-soul artists.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Misch was definitely someone I was listening to at the time, and the sort of guitar chord progression was kind of in that realm. But then I wanted to make it a bit sort of heavier towards the end and have this like more psychedelic like breakdown
it's
towards
nice
the
how
end.
it builds and
Yeah, and then you know.
deconstructs and deconstructs.
Yeah,
as the
exactly.
song flows.
Yeah, it kind of has like a peak right in the middle and then
Mm.
slows down right towards the end.
Yeah, mellows out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then the next song we have is Doomsayer, which
Yeah.
I assume was this relatively soon after The Way You Shaketh It? Or
When was this? This was this was exactly a year ago, actually.
exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
Okay.
Sort of. It was 25th of Feb.
Okay.
I remember because of
Yeah.
the war in Ukraine. It was
Yeah.
on that day. Bad time to release.
Yeah. Not the bad time to release a track. Got a bit overshadowed in the news.
Yeah. But no, that one was very much me trying to incorporate more of the gothic kind of look into my music, because you know the name Count Shaw, you'd expect it to be a little bit
Gothic.
dark, yeah. But
But
still
live
kind
up
of
to the
mellow.
count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And the music video with like plague doctor masks and
Yeah.
everything.
So it's kind of also continuing that medieval
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
inspired aesthetic.
Yeah, I quite like that, so
Yeah.
I try and
I
keep
think
it
that
as much
really
as
works.
possible.
Yeah. There's sort of Dark Ages feel.
The Dark
to-
Ages look,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the funky sound, for sure.
Maybe that's what we can kind of name you overall. Dark Ages funk.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I use it.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's like the subgenre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Doomsayer by Count Shaw. Enjoy.
I just wanna get I just wanna get I just gotta get down. I just gotta get down to me. I just gotta get I just gotta get I just wanna get down. I just wanna get down and I just wanna get I just wanna get I just gotta get down. I just gotta get down to me. I just gotta get I just gotta get I just wanna get down. I just wanna get down. I just wanna feel you. I don't wanna waste no more time.
That was Doomsayer, saying some doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were saying this song was about exactly a year ago now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of still got that sort of slower, softer feeling to it.
It's a bit more melancholic.
Yeah, I think so.
More so than the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the theme of it, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I wrote it when I was basically just feeling a bit down.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are kind of like, I just want to get up, you know. You just want to get up. Sometimes it's hard to get up.
Yeah.
But I was also, it's a bit of a weird story, because I was working at Sainsbury's at the time.
Is this big Sainsbury's or?
No, this is back in Nottingham.
Oh, okay, different Sainsbury's.
Yeah, very small one in the middle of nowhere.
An unknown Sainsbury's.
I'm not going to call them out. But yeah, I had like really early starts, so I had to get up at like 4:45.
Were you doing the pick and packing thing?
No, but
No.
I know people who
Because
who
I
did
used
that.
to do that at Morrison's at
Sure.
about the same time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know what you
It's
mean.
a very sort of weird time to get up and go to the supermarket. But on the drive, I would essentially just listen to like doom metal the whole way. For some reason, that just was soothing me for the journey.
Yeah, that's
like,
probably how you're feeling at 4:45 in the
yeah,
morning.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a kind of slow paced, but also a bit metal,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where like the kind of doom word came in,
Yeah.
and the kind of lyrics all came from that time of just being like, oh God,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's sort of very.
But made it into a song, so that's a good thing,
well,
I
you
guess.
got something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I really like how it kind of has that, like, as you said, that melancholy feel. It's almost haunting. And I haven't actually watched the music video, but I'm really excited to now you talked about it.
Yeah.
This Plague Doctor.
Yeah.
I feel like that must really fit it quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I filmed it in February as well, just like round Selly Park.
Okay, yeah.
Because, it was easy and local.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a couple of my friends to help me with it and just dress up as a Plague Doctor, like running around behind me. It's pretty fun.
What inspired the Plague Doctor for it?
I don't know. I think I had the masks already, but don't ask why. And I thought I might as well just use these. They look pretty cool, and I had a cape as well.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that it all kind of fitted together then with that medieval aesthetic that it just sort of... maybe that's just your thing, you happen to have the Plague Doctor mask already.
Yeah.
Everything's leaning, that way.
Yeah. So that was really cool. That was really fun to film. And I think it does fit with the song.
I think so, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And then we have, coming up, we've got Romanticist by Yves Tumor.
Eve or Eves? Yeah, Tumor.
I don't know. French. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And this is something that you were listening to at the time of producing Doomsayer.
Because it's kind of a mix of, I don't know, the kind of slower, more neo-soul-y type stuff, but with that sort of aggressive guitar, bit more kind of punky sound.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, there was just something about this song, I just got obsessed with it and listened to it like every day.
So there's almost something transitionary about it as well, between that sort of slower sound to, your more recent rockier stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like this. I think this is going to represent that transition between your sort of styles quite well.
I think so.
So this is Romanticist by Yves Tumor.
Yeah.
know, we were just saying, I really loved that song. It's too short.
It's way too short. That's definitely why I've listened to it so many times.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you got to keep on repeat.
Yeah,
kind of.
got to listen to it twice.
Yeah,
every
'cause
time.
that was only 2 minutes.
I know, it's
Yeah.
because when it gets to the end, you really think it's just going to keep going for another, 2-3 minutes, because it needs to.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to write to them.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
bass line is crazy on that song.
Yes, that's incredible. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, was the fusion of the instruments in that song. So good.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
it's just the way that it sort of pairs up with the drums and the kick is just like really satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has that
Definitely.
kind of funky element
Yeah.
meets the heavier guitar.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit more emo-y, like I don't know, the way that they sing in that
Yeah.
is a bit more kind of like yearning.
Yeah.
And,
And then it's also got that really strong kind of thripping bass.
yeah,
that,
yeah, all the way
you know,
through.
I
It's just
think
really
that
prominent,
Mm,
which
it really
I like.
grounds it. And I think that bass is something that's very prominent within your music as
Yeah.
well. I mean, that's certainly why I listen to The Dance
Yeah.
sometimes, is because I love the bass line. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, really. And it seems to be one of the most prominent elements of your music. I mean, I know bass is kind of typically always the backbone of the song, but I like that you really make a showcase of
Yeah,
it.
I make it kind of front and center because it's what I learnt first. Like the first instrument I learned was trumpet
Okay.
in school.
How old were you when you were doing trumpet?
Oh, from year 5
Very young.
to second year of uni really.
Oh, really?
So yeah, a long
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
But bass I learnt in like year 10. So I learned it before guitar basically. So that's
Yeah.
why it probably comes up so much and is so heavily featured.
Do you find yourself reaching for the trumpet sometimes when you're recording music?
Absolutely
these
not.
days?
No. Although
No room for brass?
well, maybe at some point. There is actually one of my songs
Yeah.
which is on SoundCloud. It's not like on
Okay.
Spotify. Called
Exclusive content.
yeah. That was actually the first one, called Lullaby,
Yeah.
and that has a trumpet solo. Yeah. So check that out if you
Yeah,
want.
check that out if you're feeling particularly fond of trumpets
Yeah.
today. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you are.
Yeah, maybe that's your thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. We're not here to judge.
No.
So this next song, I think, sort of deepening this transition within your music. This is Noon Witch, by the way, coming up.
Sure. Yeah.
Deepening that transition into kind of more rocky styles, but also continuing that medieval supernatural aesthetic that is just really, I suppose, what I associate with your music would be that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of going for, that aesthetic at the minute, because I really like sort of folk customs and art and things like that. And Noon Witch, actually, the inspiration was from the Witcher 3 video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were these like monsters called the Noon Wraiths,
Okay.
and for some
That's
reason
cool.
I just looked them up, and it turns out that they were inspired by like a Slavic myth called the Noon Witch, or the Noonday Witch.
Okay.
And yeah, so from there I was just like, I'm going to write a song about that, but also make it kind of a bit weird.
I like
was the
that.
plan.
That's good.
Yeah.
Weird folklore music.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't necessarily fit with the sound. I don't know, but
No, I think that's nice. I think it works. So, you were playing The Witcher 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
lots.
I've only just started
Oh yeah,
playing The Witcher.
Have you?
Yeah.
What,
so
the
that's
third
quite
one?
exciting. I think so. I think it's called Wild Hunt.
Yeah, that's the third one. Yeah.
So I started playing that. I've actually been playing it with my dad. A
Wow.
little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a Skyrim girl
Same.
at heart, but like
Same.
I haven't
Yeah.
branched out.
Well,
because
that-
there's so much to do in Skyrim that I just don't
Yeah.
want to.
Well, those are my two favourite games. So,
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's good.
you should definitely play more of The Witcher,
Yeah.
because I played Skyrim so many times, and that's probably why there's like fantasy elements
Yeah,
and everything in
yeah.
my music and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got that sort of fantasy, broody tone.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about Spotify Wrapped earlier,
Yeah.
and every year without fail, the composers that did the Witcher soundtrack are on there, because I just listen to it
Really?
all the time.
Wow.
All the time. Like the ambient music from the games, it's just so nice. Yeah.
Is that your study background music?
Yeah, well, it
to-
was, and now I just
yeah.
listen to it all the time
There we are.
to like relax. Yeah.
So we've got Noon Witch here by Count Shaw, inspired by The Witcher and folklore and just this wonderful mishmash
Yeah.
of all different interesting fantasy things. Please enjoy. That was Noon Witch. And we were just talking a little bit more kind of about that medieval fantasy.
Mm.
I mean, we were both talking about Skyrim basically,
Yeah,
having
lots.
a little nerd out the whole
Yeah.
time while that was going on. But can I ask, so this High Rope song that we've got coming up
Oh,
next
yeah.
by Taurus, does that have a similar sort of medieval fantasy vibe, or is it more musically similar to Noon Witch?
No, so it's not similar in the subject matter. It's just like new. It's a new band. It's like new music. And I saw them like accidentally. They were like a support band for another band,
Yeah.
which is related,
Okay.
and they're called Green Lung.
Green Lung.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And they make like metal, and they're also a fairly new band. They make metal, and it's kind of that's the folklory type stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They talk about, you know, like woodland rites and witches and things like
Yeah.
that. So I went to see them,
Yeah.
and then Taurus was supporting them,
Okay, yeah.
and I ended up liking Taurus just as much.
That's fantastic.
which is great,
I
like-
love it when that happens.
Yeah, and they sounded so good live as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, became obsessed with them as well, so just listened to them on repeat, probably as I was playing The Witcher
Yeah.
in the background.
And Skyrim and
Yeah.
Noon Witch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let's listen to High Rope and kind of see how this amalgamation came
Yeah.
about. That was so good.
How cool is that
Yeah.
ending?
I loved how it broke down and kind of slowed.
Just keeps getting slower and slower and
Yeah.
heavier. Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. So, our next track is our last Count Shaw track.
Yes,
Tragic.
the new one.
Yes, the new one. Best to last.
Yeah, yeah.
Or newest
Hopefully.
till last. Hopefully
Yeah.
the best. So this is Move with the Moss, and I feel like from the title it's already giving that same kind of natural folklore imagery.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
you've been establishing.
Yeah, and same kind of artwork design as Noonwich as well, keeping the theme
Yeah.
quite similar. And this one, I mean, the song name and the subject is actually inspired by a line from the Mighty Boosh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just this bit where they're like in the jungle room in
Yeah.
the zoo,
Yeah.
and yeah, Julian Barrett is just like, you got to get with the bracken and move with the moss, and
Yeah.
then for some reason, yeah, again just took that, and yeah, so I just stuck with that, and that was basically the lyric all the way through the song, just kind of very repetitive, very kind of like you can zone out to it, and it's also about kind of embracing nature.
Yeah. Moving with
yeah,
the moss.
move with the moss. You can move slowly if you want, and that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, the natural kind of imagery.
Yeah.
Have you had any thoughts of music videos for these more recent releases?
Yeah. So with Noonwich, I actually, me and my friend John, we actually recorded, the material, but it took us a while to edit it, and then Move with the Moss was about to be released, so it will come out eventually.
Yes.
The video, but I had to focus on that.
Yeah.
For the time being. For this one though, don't think I'm going to do a video for it. No, don't know why. Just don't feel like it this
Fair
time.
enough, yeah.
But probably for the next one, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in the works?
Yeah, I have one that's nearly finished.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it should be finished really. Like I should have already done it, but
It's been procrastinated, but it's okay because you can move slowly.
you can move slowly with the moss.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I should listen to myself more often.
Yeah, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
So here is Move with the Moss by Count Shaw. Enjoy, everyone.
It's so fake.
Move with the Moss. So exciting. And we were talking about how this is sort of symbolic of moving slowly. And you mentioned that it actually took you a little while to get this out after having written it.
Yeah, I wrote it actually over 2 years ago now. It was around the same time as The Way You Shaketh It. Yeah, and I had an initial mix for it, and was going to get that properly like mixed and mastered by my engineer, but it just never happened for some reason. And then I got focused on like other songs.
Yeah.
And also I thought that it was maybe a bit too heavy to release straight after The Way You Shaketh It for some reason.
Yeah.
So it made sense for it to come after Noon Witch, because that was a bit heavier and a bit more kind of rock orientated.
So it has more of a... Because we can sort of almost track the change in sound across the
Yeah.
songs that we've listened to.
You can
today.
track it like
Yeah.
exactly and to exactly what I was listening to at the time.
Which
It's
is really sweet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
always changes.
Yeah. And one of the things that I also really like about the stuff you put out is it doesn't seem to be discernibly within one box, you know? You're always
Sure.
taking elements from different genres.
Yeah.
Like part of that you can see where you've got the really heavy funky bass and then the sort of more rocky elements as
Yeah.
well, or, you know, with Move with the Moss, it's sort of that metal inspired kind of sound.
Yeah,
But
but with the funky bass.
yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't work, but I think with this one it does. It's a strange like drum beat, but it kind of works. And then so it starts off like that, and then obviously you get to the breakdown, which changes it up, and it's more kind of just like straight like rock drums at that
Yeah.
point. And then there's another breakdown which is very Black Sabbath inspired,
Yes.
very much so. Another big influence in recent times.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like the witchy stuff and all of that. But yeah, and
Witches
then
at Black Masses.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's more of the influence for that one.
And the kind of construction of it has been centered around those sort of songs that you've been working on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So really excited to hear about this new stuff that's coming
Yeah,
from you. We were just talking about maybe getting you on again at some point
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
that'd be
future.
good.
Maybe when this newer stuff's come out as well,
Yeah,
that'd be
for sure.
exciting. So that
Yeah.
we can, I'm sure we'd all like to hear everything again, but like let's.
yeah. And we could pick like,
Yeah.
I think there are a couple of songs that we
Yeah,
didn't do,
yeah.
so maybe.
Oh yeah, no, we'll
maybe could
do
do
a
those.
few again. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You just want to hear the dance again.
I definitely do. I mean, I heard it so many times. I'm still not sick of it.
Yeah.
So clearly,
I love that.
it's really done something right with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to
Thank
be kind
you.
of wrapping up our show now.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah.
Sort of tongue in cheek because we're recording this. Please, follow Count Shaw on your Spotify if you enjoyed it. Follow Count Shaw on Instagram. Is there anything else you'd like to plug while you're here?
Spotify and Instagram's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the main sort of
That's where to
areas.
find
But
you.
obviously you can find the music anywhere
Yes.
you desire.
The music will be there.
It will be there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
That's the mystical quality of it.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to hear more from, local student and alumni artists, here is Sound of Selly. Tune in Tuesdays 9 to 10. Also follow the Instagram, Sound of Selly, pretty self-explanatory name, for more updates on that. And also, if you'd like to hear Count Shaw on the show again, I'm sure, we'd absolutely love to have you back.
Thanks. It's been
We're
a
going to
pleasure.
be playing us out now. We've got Deftones, Around the Fur. Now, this is something that you mentioned you were listening to roughly at the same time as
Yeah.
producing Move with the Moss.
Yeah, at that time, and then also it's just one of those things where I get obsessed with one song, and this
Yeah.
is just the one song right now that I'm listening to every day.
Enjoy Around the Fur with Deftones. Good night, everyone, and thank you for listening.